gave us an amazing support for this. To put it all together. Glory. Alright, can you say thank you to us? Alright. Thank you, Father. Hallelujah. Alright. Mama Fionna is going to bless us today. She's going to give us more of the church. Alright. Is that a setup? Alright. So she's going to be blessing us today. We are glad that you to have been in our midst. Alright. Do you understand? Alright. We're glad to be patient.
It's a blessing because I wasn't expecting this, but I thank God because I think He knows what He's doing, and I believe since we all started on Monday, I know that there's been an outpouring in this place. And beyond the outpouring, Holy Spirit, I welcome you. I welcome you, Yahweh. I welcome you, Joshua. I welcome you, Holy Spirit, into this place. I know you've been here right from the beginning, but I officially welcome you. I step aside. I ask you to use my mouth and speak to your children tonight. Father, fill this place with your glory. Yeah, your angels are already here, carrying out a great awakening. That's telling us something that you've already represented in the atmosphere for this season. I ask you, Holy Spirit, continue and finish that which you have started. In your Joshua's name, we pray. Please can you open our Bible to Acts chapter 2. I trust we have this going to help us. The reason we're all here is to connect with the spirit of Pentecost. And I know we've already been preparing and we're still waiting for much more. And if you read Acts chapter 2, we realize that they were all waiting. When Yahushua ascended to heaven, he said they should wait for the Holy Ghost. He said they should wait for the Holy Ghost, and that's what all of us are doing. Yes, we've been speaking in tongues when we need a fresh outpour, another dimension, another realm of glory. Because there's something that happened in that act of Apostle, Acts chapter 2 precisely, that when they came out, they were never the same. You know, these were ordinary people before the ascension. You know, when Yahushua was talking with them and said, he showed them the way, he saw many miracles he performed. But the moment he was crucified, everybody went about doing their business. It was as if he never did anything. Till he rose from the dead and he came back and told them, wait for me. Wait for the Holy Ghost. something unique happened when there was an outbreak, an outpour of the Holy Spirit. Their lives was never the same. There was a heart transformation. There was a soul transformation, something supernatural. In fact, Joel chapter 2 was fulfilled in another dimension. That made those same people that even Peter denied him. But when the Holy Ghost came and they said they were drunken with wine, he stood up. Suddenly, boldness came upon him. Where did that boldness come from? Do you understand? There was a supernatural change that occurred that made him to begin to speak even mysteries that he never knew. That was because there was an unlocking. That is what we are keying into in this Pentecost. Whatever happened to them, much more is what Yahweh wants to pour upon us in this season. So that when we step out there, our ministry, doing our purpose, our calling is going to be easier. Because what Yahweh is doing in this end time is raising sons and daughters. We are all sons. And He's doing a quick work on the earth because there's no more time. So don't look at your age and say, I'm too small, I don't understand. At this season of Pentecost, what He's doing is opening our eyes of understanding. He's opening our ears. Do you understand? A fresh outpour of tongues that gives you interpretations into depth is what He's releasing in this season. That's why we need to open our heart and receive. What He's doing is changing heart. So, the things that ordinarily used to be difficult, by the reason of this Pentecost, there's going to be a breaking that will release His Spirit into us and make you begin to do things supernaturally without any kind of stress. That's because He's the one leading you. You begin to hear instructions. You begin to hear directions precisely. You'll not be debating, is this the Spirit of God talking to me? No, you will know. Because the outpouring in this season is to take you into that glory realm of rest, where there is no doubt. Where is this confidence in you? When you're speaking, you speak from somewhere, from an altar, you're speaking from a presence. Because you have the confidence, because it is in Him your confidence is. So when you're speaking, you speak with so much boldness and authority, and things begin to happen. That's what He's doing for us in this season. The more you're hungry for it, the more your heart is open. That's how He's going to pour it. Don't be satisfied that you're speaking in tongues. There's much more in realms of tongues. Don't be satisfied that you're just seeing angels. It belongs to you. There's much more than just seeing angels. Always desire for much more. Do you understand? Don't be satisfied that, okay, I had a dream yesterday and I had interpretation. No, there's much more. Don't be satisfied with what someone is telling you about their experiences, about how Yahweh works. There is much more. Because the God we serve can never be known completely because He works in different dimensions. The level in which you are and you express yourself is searching. That's where you reveal yourself to, because that is your understanding. But when you continue to press in, you say, this is not enough. Do you understand? You continue to unravel, unveil more to you. Don't be satisfied that, oh, I have spoken word of knowledge, but that's just it. No. There's a deeper realm of word of knowledge. That's what you should be searching for, beyond what you're operating in. Don't be satisfied with the wine that you're in. Tell the Lord, I need a new wineskin. Tear up the old wine. Because this old wineskin cannot take me to where you're taking me to. I need a new wine that will sustain me. Remember the Acts of Apostles. What they took on that day was what sustained them till they finished their course. That's why they're not afraid to die for the gospel. Because they encountered something that was beyond words, that gave them that kind of courage that they could stand before any council and proclaim God. Even when they beat them, do you understand? The only prayer they prayed was for boldness to continue. Because in this dimension we are operating, and in the next season that is coming, there's going to be a lot of persecution, there's going to be a lot of tribulations. So if anybody's exciting and telling you this dimension you're entering into is going to be joyous, it's going to be joyous, but there's a lot of price you're going to pay. There's going to be a lot of demand that's going to come with it. So you praise Him and tell yourself, Yahweh, even when I'm celebrating this, I need more boldness, the love, the passion to stay in you, to die for this cause. Because if we don't operate in a level of passion and love, you see this thing we are doing, when anointing comes and you're shaking in it, when the persecution comes, the true test of this comes, will you be able to stand? So even as you're pressing for more love, more passion for Yahweh, because that's what is going to sustain us in the years to come, His love. So even when anything comes your way, when you remember you've tested of His love, you're ready to die as a martyr, no matter the cost. The journey we are joining to is a journey of the unknown. If you think that you know it, you don't know it. We've signed up to something that we do not know. All what we know is that I love this man. Do you understand? He paid the price to restore us back to Yahweh. So whatever is written in our scroll of destiny, that is what this Pentecost is taking us back to unravel and open that scroll so that we begin to walk in it, so that we will not wander. Do you understand? What He's doing for us in this Pentecost is opening your book of destiny and reading it to you as it was written, that this is how you're meant to live and run this race. So every chapter is being opened by revelation. As you walk with Him, He'll be opening it. When you finish that assignment, He moves you on to the next. That is what this Pentecost is all about. It's about the nations. It's not about me and you. It's about the nation. It's about government. It's about taking the education, the entertainment industry. It's about doing much more for Him, because the heart of Yahweh cries out to the nations. So He's preparing you and I to go take the nations for Him. So it is in you sitting down with Him that He unveiled to you where you're going to possess, the territory you're going to stand and take your place. Because in this realm He's taking us to, there is no round that must be lacking. No, everybody must take their round, everybody must take their stand, everybody must keep a watch. When I turn around, I need to see the next person standing there. When I look to my front, I need to see the person standing there. Do you understand? So that there will be no vacuum. That's what Yahweh is doing, each and every one of us. But what we need to do is we need to be willing, we need to be open, because He'll be coming with instructions. The instructions we may not understand. The instructions, it may not be pleasant. Trust me, it will not always be pleasant. But that is the test of your love. That's why He told us, do you love me more than this? It's not every time you see the food and the drink to drink. There will be a time there will be so much scarcity. Do you love Him beyond that? That's the trial of your faith. Are you willing to go beyond that, or will you compromise? We should always remember, in this journey, there's one thing Satan is fighting. It's your soul. He's not interested in your wealth or anything. What he wants is your soul. So if you give him that, he has won it. Your time and your soul is very precious. He's ready to give you anything to delay you, to take you out of your purpose, out of your destiny plan. Keep wasting that time. He's none of his business. That's what he's stealing from you. But this Pentecost is to take us back to that Kairos time with Yahweh, to reset us back. So let's take advantage of this particular season. Anyhow you're going to be, cry out to Yahweh that you need this thing more than ever to access that glory. It's when you access that glory, let me tell you, what anybody's going to tell you cannot take you away from the love of God. I can be talking to you, nothing. If you don't encounter that glory for your own self, this journey, you get weary, you get discouraged. You know what David did? When he came back from war, he lost everything. He cried, nothing happened, but he had to encourage himself. It takes a man that has encountered glory realm to praise God after war and you've lost everything, to encourage yourself in the Lord and return back to battle. Sometimes I will not be there for you, you will not be there for me. It's only going to be you alone. That's the trial of your faith. Are you going to say, I expected this brother to be by my side? It was even my prayer partner, but he doesn't care. No. A time will come, you will stand alone. It's going to be only you and him. But you need to always remember, he has said, he will never leave you nor forsake you. Even when you don't hear anything, even when you think he's not speaking, he is. At times you're praying, you're just in silence. You think he's not there, he's right there beside you. But you need to understand the levels in which you are and understand that he's still there, he's talking with you. Don't get discouraged, don't get weary. Just continue to do what you know how to do best. When you pass through that season, he'll take you to another phase and reveal his next realm of glory to you. I'm just here to encourage us this evening that what you're doing is being recorded for you in heaven. And he's watching to see how much you can press him, how much you're hungry for him. I'm so grateful that everybody that's sitting in here is like teenagers, your early youth. It's amazing because I started like some of you. When we started, we were just hungry. We didn't know all was that. We loved God, do you understand? We just come and be praying from morning to evening. Next thing we go for evangelism, and that was it. But when there was an outbreak of the Holy Ghost, we began to do stuff that people kept wondering, you see these people that are doing all this thing? Because there was an hunger. But we did not understand what we were doing. All of us, we love this man. Whatever we heard, we'll go back and let's dig deep. And we began to grow. So don't get excited that you fall under the anointing. After that, what else are you doing? Go sit down with him. Open these scriptures. See, let me tell you, when you open the Bible, read the Bible as a journey. Don't read the Bible as a storybook. When you say in the beginning he created, sit down on it. How did he create? This beginning, I said he created. Let the Spirit that wrote that word come manifest himself to you and take you through the journey of creation. How he created that thing. Do you understand? Don't just be satisfied, oh, yes, I read the Bible, yes, he said you provide. No. Get to a point where you sit down and say, I've been reading this thing. This book, you say, is a mystery. Do you understand? And it was an account of people's life. I want to experience my own mystery. Because this book was just written for guidance and instructions, and then that means there's much more depth. If I can sit down and chew this thing, I'll begin to walk with him, joining with him into that realm, and things begin to unfold. When you sit down to read the Bible, that's the only weapon we have. And when the enemy understands that you know the power in that tool you are carrying, you'll be a dangerous weapon. He won't come near your dwelling place because he knows that this person has caught the revelation of who he or she is by chewing the word. You know, when we receive the Holy Ghost baptism, we think that is it. No, there's much more. When you speak with that tongue, let that tongue begin to interpret mysteries to you, begin to bless you. Let that tongue begin to teach you. Don't just be satisfied, I can speak how many words in tongues or break and of what benefit is it to you? If it cannot bring that, open the scriptures when you're sitting down and you're reading and the Holy Spirit now begins to open your eyes of understanding. And by the time you read a verse, you're writing how many pages? It's depth. It's a revelation you get in the word that's going to make you run like wildfire and nothing can stop you. But when you keep reading it without that revelation, the depth, you get tired. It's an usual thing. It becomes religion. So in this season, this Pentecost, that should be our heart cry. Don't be satisfied with, yes, Monday we came, we fell under the anointing. Father, there's much more. Do you understand? You come the next day, Father, there is much more. We have not touched it. No. We have not. It's just a scratch. When you touch it, you yourself, you know, you've touched something. You will know. This one is just child's play we are doing for you. When you touch it, you touch the main thing, you will know you touched it. And you begin to run. And begin to fight the good fight of faith. That's what this training is all about. It's about him. So as we are pressing into this Pentecost, let's ask him for one thing. Destroy the old wineskin, we need a new wine. And the old wineskin can only be exposed by the Holy Spirit. When you sit down and you're blasting in that tongue, really expose the old wineskin inside of it so that the new wine can stay. Because if you put the new wineskin on the old wineskin, it won't last. After 1 month or 2, you will sizzle off and you get back to the old self and you get tired again. But when the old wine is completely gone and it's only the feeling of the new wine, there's no room for the old wine. It will last. You will grow. You see yourself growing from height to height, levels to levels. Your understanding will be deeper. So as Yahweh is busy walking, even in your sleep, tell him continue to walk. Because there's more in this Pentecost. There's more. The harvest is ripe. We need to get out there to the field. What he's doing here is preparing us for the field. We can't all go together. He will scatter us. Then you'll know if this Pentecost you took something. You can't always think you go in a group. And sometimes you personally say, only you on that mission. Then you will know this Pentecost, what did I pick from here? So I want to encourage every one of us, let's be more focused and intentional in these remaining days to get everything that we can draw from Him. Let's not be satisfied with what we have received. Want more. Hunger for more. Tell Him it's not enough. Be intentional about it. Very, very intentional. Be determined. If you've been operating in a particular level, tell the level, this one is old wine skin. I need a new wine. There's more. If you've been studying your Bible in particular, tell him, that was the old wine. I need a new wine. There is more. And when you come to that understanding, until you realize it, you can never get anything. When you tell yourself, I think I've been here far too long, I think I need something new, that means blindness has been removed. That covering has been removed. You can now see. You can now hear clearly. You move to the next step. You move to the next level. So let's take advantage of this Pentecost and tell Him we need this thing. And it's time like this I used to I challenge you like, okay, you say it's Pentecost, this is what happened in our time. It's much more that's going to happen in our time. Prove it. Show me. Yeah. When you read the Bible, be practical about it. He fed 5,000. How did He do it? I want to see that miracle. Do you understand? Because His word can never be changed. It's here and amen. So when you're reading it, out of Apostles, they say they waited. The Holy Ghost came upon them and they began to speak. As they stood up. Peter, that was a fisherman, began to speak eloquently. Began to answer questions. What happened to Peter? Something happened to Peter. That is the understanding. That is when you get angry in the spirit. Says something must happen to me. If you could change that man's intellectual ability, there's nothing Yahweh cannot do. If you can make someone that couldn't speak boldly and not only speaking eloquently, he spoke with so much wisdom, knowledge, and something happened in that Pentecost. Let's all open our hearts and tell Him, this is, we want more of this. And as we search and hunger, He's going to do it for us. Praise the Lord.
Hallelujah.
That was an amazing word.